Hi Stampers, welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Nancy from StampinShout.com and you are watching a video that is part of my Autumn Fall Flowers cards. So tonight I'm making a card using the Daisy Lane stamp set primarily. I'm also using another stamp set. So I'm going to turn the camera around and we will get started right away. So Daisy Lane stamp set, that's what I am using tonight for my card. I'm also going to use a few stamps from the Hydrangea Haven stamp set. So as we go along, I will definitely tell you what's what, and I will also have the information on my blog, www.stampinshout.com. So if I leave any information out or you need to know more information, just go over to my blog and you'll find it there. I also have shopping links, so if you're interested in purchasing any stamping supplies, you can contact me or you can just shop on my at my online store. I always like to talk with people before they order, so to make sure they're getting the right thing and there's no mistakes, and just to say hi and thanks and all that good stuff. So my email is stampinshout@gmail.com, so you can also talk to me that way. So let's get started. So this is the card that I want to make with you guys, and I have some of that already ready to go. The base is going to be Whisper White, and that is 11 by 4 1/4, and I scored it at 5 1/2, so it's going to open like that. And then I have a couple of matte pieces, and this cardstock is called Cajun Craze. It's Stampin' Ups cardstock called Cajun Craze. And I have two, one for the inside and one for the front, and it's 5 1/4 by 4. Then my stamping pieces, well, I have this one actually is not a stamping piece. It is going to be embossed, which I actually already embossed it. So that's 5 by 3 3/4, and then I embossed another piece that is 3 3/4 by 1 7/8. So I put these pieces of cardstock into the Parisian Flourishing embossing folder, and it gave me this beautiful texture, which I absolutely adore. I've been using this a lot lately, just very, very pretty. So that's going to be on the front of our card. Inside for stamping, I have a piece of Whisper White that's 5 by 3 3/4. Then I have a matte piece, and this is 2 by 3 3/4. So these two pieces are going to go together. And then I have two square pieces. The cardstock is 2 7/8 by 2 7/8, and the white piece is 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. Again, I will have all this information on my blog, so you don't have to worry about that. So first thing I want to do is bring in some scraps and go ahead and stamp my daisies. So this stamp set has a large daisy and a small daisy that you can actually punch out because there are coordinating punches. That's what we're going to do for this card. And there's also just stamping flowers and stamping leaves, a fern, and sentiments. So I am going to take my orange pumpkins. It's actually called pumpkin pie. That's Stampin' Up, but any type of orange cardstock that you may have or rust colored cardstock is going to go well with this card that we're making. I am going to take my Cajun Craze ink, and I am going to go ahead and stamp a large flower, a large daisy, and a small one. Where's my small daisy? Dun-dun, dun-dun. Thought I had everything out. Oh, my small daisy was still in the box. So let's bring that out and we'll ink that up. I'm going to stamp that one more time. I'm going to flip this over and stamp it one more time. I'm actually going to huff on my stamp, and that will give me a nice deep, yeah, that's better. I like that. Let me show you the difference. So that was kind of faint. It was all inked up, but I huffed on it, and that kind of just moistened that ink up, and it darkened it up a little bit. Now I'm going to bring in a coordinating punch, and I'm going to line it up with what we just stamped. And punch that flower out. And I'm also going to punch out a little one, the little one. So I've got my other punch, my other coordinating punch. Just going to line that up and punch that out. So I got 2 orange or pumpkin pie daisies, and then I'm going to take a scrap and I'm just going to punch. I'm not going to stamp these. I have to use 2 hands. There's the big one and a little one. Okay, then I have another little scrap here, and this is where I'm bringing in the Hydrangea Haven. I'm going to stamp the For You, and that's going to be my little tag that's on this card right there. And all I did was stamp the sentiment For You, and I did that in Occasion Craze. And then the hydrangea dies have this little tag cut out, and I went ahead and just laid it on there and ran it through my cutting machine, and I already have that done. So there's my little tag. Also with the hydrangea dies is a leaf die, which is right here. And I took a piece of green cardstock, I believe this is garden green, and I laid it down and I ran it through my cutting machine, and that's how I got my little leaf. Just wanted to show it to you before I took it apart. So we have all the pieces, and now we just have to put it all together. So close up my ink pads there. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is take my little square of white, and I'm going to go ahead and glue my leaf down. And whenever I have something fine that I am putting glue on, and if I think I have a little bit too much or I don't want it squirting out, I like to kind of plop it down on my silicone mat and get that extra glue off before I go ahead and glue it down. So now this, what we want to do with the square is make sure it's on a diagonal, like we want it to be a diamond type shape. So I'm going to go ahead and attach this right here at the bottom, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to take my little daisy pieces. I'm just going to put a dot of glue in the middle and glue that together. I'm just going to offset the petals, and then I'm going to take the medium sized one or the small one and lay that down and end up with this one, and there is my daisy. So I'm going to go ahead and let that sit there for a second, and we can go ahead. I'm just building this before I put it all together in case I make a mistake. I don't want it attached to all my card pieces, and then I lose more supplies that way if I were to make a mistake. So I'm going to go ahead and build it ahead of time. So I'm going to bring in some of my dimensionals, and I'll go ahead and put the little tag on, and I'm just going to put that right there. And when we're almost done, we're going to put a bow on there, and then I'm going to go ahead and put a dimensional on the back of my daisy and put that on the top of my flower. So it's going to go like this. Okay, so I can go ahead and glue this onto my mat piece. And of course you can do this in any order that makes you comfortable. That's going to go like that. Okay, now let's bring in our card base. And we're going to go ahead and glue the mat down. So that's going to go right in the center. And then we're going to take the piece that we embossed, and that's going to go in the center. You can move it around a little bit when you use the glue, make sure it's centered nicely. So then I'm going to take the smaller white piece that we embossed earlier and go ahead and attach it to its mate, which is its other mat. So it meets end to end. It just has a little tiny border up at the top. And then we're going to glue this piece down. We're going to put that right in the center, like that. Then we're going to bring in our little focal piece and we're going to put some dimensionals on the back of that. I'm just going to put one in each corner. So that is going to go just like that. Then I'm going to bring in my gold twine. This is, I believe it's called the Essentials, and you can get it, it comes in gold and silver. That's how it comes, a spool of gold and a spool of silver. So I just went ahead and tied a little bow. And I'm going to attach that with the glue dot. And put a glue dot right behind the knot of that bow, and then just put it on the top of that tag. And there's the front of our card. So for the inside, I'm not sure what I want to put on the inside of this, so I'm just going to go ahead. I like to make my cards with you guys, but sometimes I don't finish the insides when I'm with you because I'm not sure what I want to say on the inside. So I have so many cards here, and I think this might be a birthday card for my girlfriend, but could be a thank you card too. Always need thank you cards. So that's how I would finish the inside. Go ahead and stamp something or write myself a note to whoever I'm sending this to. So that's my fall daisy card. And again, I made it with the Daisy Lane stamps and the punches and a little bit of the Hydrangea Heaven. I used the For You stamp and the leaf die. So I hope you liked my card. Don't be shy, stamp and shout.